What a great introduction to Brian. I love it. All right. Well, welcome, everybody. It's so great to have each and every one of you here. We're going to start off. Thank you for taking the time to prep up and do all the background work to be able to make this time important to you, as we are all know that it's here. The week is here, the time is here, and we're ready to go. We here in the Diversified family have been working as hard as we possibly can to prep up for you, to make sure that we're supporting you through one of the best weeks, or best 7 weeks of the whole year, especially of 2020. I can promise you that. And with that kind of in mind, we're going to dive in. We kind of feel like these next 7 weeks, it's an all or nothing kind of approach. We need to all step up in a way that we're totally immersed in the product knowledge and the motivation and the understanding that we are here to serve a group of people that need to be served with regard to our clients. And so as we kind of go into this, we're going to kind of take the mentality of let's dive in. And if you will, we're going to kind of go through this presentation, go through some different topics that we're excited to be able to share with you. And that begins, number one, with the fact that, frankly, we are a family. We've shared this with each of you before. We started back in 1979, and since then have really been committed to staying a family as we continue to grow. And we've had some immense growing. But as you look around the circle today, or the Zoom chat, if you will, you'll see that there's people here that have been with us for a very, very long time. And because of that, we wanted to kind of just take a couple minutes to recognize some of the different things that happen. Some of you are aware that we have an awards banquet every single year, and it's during this awards banquet that we've had 15 years or so now annually, that we get a chance to honor each of you that have really kind of put effort in throughout the year to become part of this family, to serve those who need it to be served most. And so unfortunately, we don't have a date to say, hey, this 2021 opportunity is going to be this date or where it's going to be or anything like that at this point. But we wanted to kind of take note of that if you do want to take a look at more about it and kind of learn about our history, the div.com/banquet is the website. And at that event every year, we have the honor of being able to recognize certain individuals who have kind of put their all into the year. And we wanted to share a couple of those awards. And maybe if you have received one of these awards in the past, we ask you to, like I said, put your video on or just kind of make some noise, because there are a lot of people here who have received some of these awards, and we want to share a few about some of them with you. The first award I want to tell you about is the Leaders Club. The Leaders Club, specifically for Medicare Advantage, represents an individual who has earned 100 apps in 1 year. It's basically, it's kind of like our lowest level for qualification. The Leaders Club has 100 apps, and once you have 100 MA apps in 1 year, you qualify as a leader within the Diversified family. So as we kind of open it up right now, who here has earned the Leader Club Award? Raise your hand. Let me hear from you.
I've got one of those Leaders Awards.
Okay, there we go.
Fantastic, fellas.
So yeah, anybody who's earned it, let me just hear you see you raise your hand for a second. That'd be great. The next award we've got out there is the President's Club Award. The President's Club Award is an award that's presented. We usually kind of memorize it by in our office. We have a plaque wall for the President's Club. You earn the President's Club by submitting 150 Medicare Advantage apps in a year, and after 2 years, you get actually a ring, the Diversified ring, the coveted Diversified ring. I'm not sure how well you can see it, but every year that you qualify, you gain a diamond in that ring every year after that. So the second year that you qualify with 150 apps, you get a ring. Every year that one of those diamonds gets added, and then after 10 years of qualifying, you receive the center diamond. And like I said, that's 150 MA apps. If you've received the President's Club Award from us, would you please raise your hand and let us hear from you?
Yeah, here. I'm in that group.
I'm not hearing from you. Uncle Bill, you have an honorary award, Uncle Bill. I don't hear from you. There you go. He's muted.
He's muted. Yeah, I want to earn it the right way, though.
Okay, you got it. This year it's
You
yours.
did earn it the right way.
Yeah,
Yes, you did.
can't do that.
You did earn it the right way, man.
Yes, you did.
There's others here who have also earned it on this call. Many people have earned it within this call. They have the ring to prove it and continue to earn the diamonds. Another award.
I think I did.
What's that?
I think I did.
You think you did.
Funny.
Maria definitely has.
Oh, it was Maria. I was like, who said that? Who? Yeah, of course, Maria, you have. Maria earned it as a final expense agent too, so she's got probably 7 or 8 years in there. It's kind of a status within our organization to have the President's Club ring. Next award that we have is the Leadership Award. This award was started, I think, in 2002. The agency directors within the organization decided to give it to Mike Sr., and this kind of represents all the different people who have received it. So if you could see that, you could read along. But if you have received the Leadership Award, I'm looking for one individual specifically to speak up and maybe even show his video. Then Leadership Award represents somebody who has led the others in our organization to greatness throughout the year. So if you receive the Leadership Award, let me hear from you.
Yes, sir.
Good job.
Come on, Nick. I don't hear you. Unmute. Let's go. We have Nicole Moore on there. We have Mr. McIntyre. You heard from him. We have Mr. Jeffrey Arroyo, who is the only individual to earn it twice. He's our, he hasn't unmuted. I've asked him to unmute, but he's not. But he's actually earned it twice. And actually, John Morris too, right? John Morris, I think you're on here as well. You earned the Leadership Award with our organization, and we have some lots of people here that have earned it over the years. Next, we have the Living the Vision Award. Living the Vision kind of represents what our vision to make a positive impact upon the lives of our associates, our employees, and clients as we grow together as partners. We're so thankful that the first recipient of this award actually represented it perfectly. We actually changed the name. It's now the Henry D. Smith Living the Vision Award. He unfortunately passed away last year, but we've made the change now so that this award forever will be memorialized as his award. If you receive the Living the Vision Award, would you please let me hear from you?
Andrew, I did.
Yes, sir. Total perfect.
Andrew, you did.
Jeanette.
Absolutely. Greg has as well. We have on the call, we have Jeanette on there who's earned it. Another award we have is got that one ready? Sorry. The Bulldog. Bulldog Award. The Bulldog has been around now since, I guess, 2005, I believe it is. The Bulldog is a coveted award within our organization. It represents an individual who has, with their tenacity, with their courage, with everything they've gone out there, despite this, yes, sir, despite the circumstances, that individual has not let anything get in their way of being able to hit the numbers and hit the opportunity to positively impact those around them. If you receive the Bulldog Award, let me hear the There you go.
Who let the dogs out?
Yes, yes. So we have the Bulldog, and the last year's recipient of the Bulldog has placed it in front of him right there. See that? There he is, Mr. Seth Fenn. Great job, Seth. Thank you for that. And I saw Greg pulled his out as well. Akram, we can't see his video, but he's got it, and a bunch of the individuals on here have received the Bulldog. And finally, the last award that I want to share with you is kind of the most important award within our organization. It's the award that kind of honors an individual who, I guess, represents the same vision that this organization was founded under. And so we have the President's Eagle. The President's Eagle here. If you've received the President's Eagle, I'm going to ask you just to kind of acknowledge that for us.
I have.
Yes, Maria. Who else?
I have
Michael
Michael.
McIntyre, I see. Dominica. Where's your award, Dominica? Oh, it's in the office, and you're not in the office?
It's in the office.
Any other individuals? Can't hear you. Akram, Jeff?
Yeah, I'm here, Jeff. Yeah.
Yeah. He always says that ever since after the year after he got the Eagle Award, it went downhill from there. That's usually his statement. I'm surprised.
Downhill. It wasn't downhill. It was gutted.
Crash and burn.
Well, guys, we just want to take a moment just to kind of say, thank you for being on this call today. There's literally hundreds of years of experience here at Diversified represented on this call. And I think it would be a shame to not acknowledge that. And that's the reason why we want to take a little bit of time to kind of point that out this afternoon. So thank you for indulging us. And thank you for those of you who have come back and to be on this call right now. We're excited to be able to dive in on this to this year with you. That being said, there is so much going on within our organization that we want to talk about right now that, frankly, if you're not getting communications, we need to just point out how to stay in the loop with us, because communication is absolutely key. And there is a lot of information. We are not a gigantic organization with regard to being able to just send out email upon email upon email. We frown on that type of behavior, frankly. It's our hope that we're in communication. We're talking with you. We're sharing with you. We're sorry, no. Can you guys still see my screen? It says communications key or no? No, you can't.
No, I went to Zoom.
Yeah, I went to Zoom.
Okay. Okay. So we would just ask you that, if you're not able to communicate with us or get all of our communications, let us know. We find we have different ways. We have multiple different ways to be able to share different developments with you. Obviously through Facebook. Follow us on Facebook. Give us a like. Follow us on Twitter if you use Twitter. We put videos out all the time on YouTube at the Diversified. We have the Instagram account. Follow the Rose Boys at the Diversified. LinkedIn. I'm sure that we've been connected through LinkedIn, but if we haven't, please do so. And finally, and frankly, most importantly, our Diversified Family group chat. That's where we use WhatsApp to be able to communicate all the different developments that are occurring within the organization. It gives you a chance to ask questions, follow up with people, communicate what your challenges might be, and also give us a chance to quickly get details of different changes or things that are happening to you as fast as we can. So we ask you, if you're not on WhatsApp, in the chat right now, you can just go to the chat and just enter into the chat. Gabby will catch your name there, and we'll make sure that we'll email you the invite. You will need to download WhatsApp. It's a free application. And then once you have it, if you want, you just kind of send Gabby a link. Just a note to say, hey, I got it. And then she'll be able to add you directly in. Also, download Zoom. If you have it just kind of called in, we encourage you to download it. It makes it a lot easier for us to stay in touch with you. We could actually chat through there as well. Many years back, we made the decision to start investing in Audible. Audible is a great library of all different types of audiobooks. We began buying books by the couple hundreds at this point. Within that application, we have a library of different books. There's different motivational books. There's all different topics that we can discuss, and you can go in there. If you have the Audible app, our username is wakeuptomoney61@gmail.com, and the password is audible2727. I just want to point out that the A is capital and the Udable is not, okay? That will give you a challenge if you're trying to log in. It's Audible with the capital A. You'll find books in there that, frankly, you'll never be able to get to because there's that many. But there's all the top great books are in there for motivation purposes. As you're getting through your day and you're kind of looking for something to pick you up, this is a great tool, and we highly encourage you to take advantage of it. And I see a bunch of you feverishly writing down the username and password, so feel free to just take another minute to do so. It's wakeuptomoney61@gmail.com is the username, password capital A, Udable 2727. All right.
Mike, are these books that are like from Brian Tracy and Zig Ziglar and
Yes, ma'am.
Tom Hopkins and things of that nature?
Yes, ma'am. There's all different style books. There's lots of those types of books, all different ones. They're complete genre of different motivational opportunities for you. So I wanted to share with you kind of a late development that's occurring that we're in the process of working through right now. This website is not up, but it's in the process of getting up, and we'll put it through WhatsApp once it is live. After being with Seth and Fred and Joe last week, they kind of said, look, you guys need to understand, we are like sharks, and we want to go after it with total focus on making sure we tear it up right now during AEP, and we need to be able to compete a little bit. So we have this website called thediv.com/fishbowl that we're going to be making live within the next day or two. And what it's going to do is it's going to keep track of everybody. You'll see that it kind of looks like this, and you got a little fish. It swims around. Each one of these fish will represent one of our agents. And as you get more and more apps, we're going to be, popping it in there. And Seth, who wants to, who's laying down the gauntlet a few times, wanted to be able to know where he stands within the organization. So this is an opportunity for those of you who care. For those of you who don't care, it's perfectly fine. But it's an opportunity for you to kind of see where you stand within the organization, at least amongst a portion of the organization with regard to the agents that do report to us, whether telesales applicant or through appointments. So this is a great little tool that we're going to be employing. Once again, it's the div.com/fishbowl. This is how it'll work, and you'll see yourself kind of swimming along in the fishbowl and where you stand within the organization. And with that, I'm going to pass it to Anthony to share a little bit more about some of the things that are coming up our way.
Great, thanks, Mike. We got lots to discuss today, lots of exciting things. We're going to start to go through some things fast. We're going to open it up to some questions. We're going to open up some conversation pieces. So we're kind of doing this meeting with a bunch of different things happening. One of the things that's going to happen at the end of this meeting is those of you that are in telesales, we're going to have you stay on for an additional 20 to 30 minutes because we have received and posted a new script, the 2021 script. I know a lot of you have been asking about that script. So it will be, so we're going to spend time towards the end of the meeting going over that. We wanted to kind of hitch up with some upcoming events and some upcoming dates that we have. We've been doing, obviously, like everybody else in this world, we've been doing a lot of Zoom calls and teleconference calls. And as much as we all hate them, communication has never been better at Diversified. We are able to communicate with you guys on such a regular basis, see you no matter where you are in the country, and kind of continue to do an ongoing training. So we got a couple of things scheduled. Number one, those of you that are in telesales, we have found that a bunch of people that have gone through the telesales training are coming back for the telesales training again, a second or even a third time. Quite honestly, just because hearing things a second time, you didn't necessarily hear them the first time. So what we've decided to do is kind of do a telesales refresher where we're not going to introduce ourselves and do the things that you know already, but kind of the sales side of it of where it could be helpful for you. And we're going to do that in a 2-hour period. So we're doing that next Tuesday, October 20th at 10 a.m. Those of you who have not been through a telesales training, but are telesales agents, next Wednesday, I'm sorry, not next Wednesday, Wednesday the 28th and Thursday the 29th, new telesales training will be from 2 to 4. Those of you that are in the field, not on telesales, we're going to do a refresher call next Monday the 19th at 2 p.m. And those of you who have either been through the training and want more or have not been through the training at all, for our new CRM / dialer system, which is 5.9 in customer, there will be a training tomorrow at 9 a.m. and another one at 5 p.m. tomorrow. Mike, we just went to your email. We lost your screen. So those are the different trainings. Any questions at all on the trainings? Okay. And with that said, speaking about the 5.9 and the customer, one of the questions that came up, you do not have to RSVP, Don. Somebody just asked, do you have to RSVP for all these things? You do not have to, but it is very helpful when you do. Gabby will continue to post up on the site the different trainings that you can RSVP right on our website. It doesn't necessarily have to be through the email, but it is very helpful. It gives us an idea of knowing how many people are going to be on the training school. And, you know, we had a training school this afternoon that or a little bit earlier today, that I think there was 17 or 19 people on the call. And we actually only had about 8 registered. So it's a lot more helpful knowing how many people are going to be on the call. Let's talk about this call center, this 5-9 customer that we keep referring to. So we have, when we learned the amount of leads that we were going to be getting and the new products and the opportunity itself over the last 6 months, and decided how much we were going to grow this thing, we decided that we were going to make some substantial investments. And one of the big investments that we've made, if you do not know already, is into more technology, from data scrubbing to dialer systems to new CRMs. We've made substantial investments, and we've done it all at the same time. So, which is a little scary. We've done it so that we can kick things off and call as many leads as possible and get you guys more efficient. And we wanted to make sure that we got it done by AEP. So Mike and his team of people have been working feverishly to try to get this done, to make it happen for AEP. And it's actually happening. It's not just an idea. It's not just a something that'll happen down the road. It's actually happening. It's been working for a little over a week now. We've slowly been bringing people in. Mike is doing trainings almost every day at this point to slowly bring you guys in so that you could be more efficient in what you're doing. What I mean by that is I want to give you some examples of some numbers. Those of you in telesales are making an average of 100 phone calls per day. That's per day. Now, I know Andrew's saying, what the hell are you talking about? I make 250 phone calls per day. I'm talking about averages, okay? It's about 100 phone calls a day. Since we've started this 5-9, which is an automated system that helps you eliminate some of these wrong numbers. It makes it so that your dialing is happening at a much faster rate. It makes it so that answering machines, it makes everything flow quicker. The average is, Mike, correct me if these numbers have changed, but the average is about 97 phone calls an hour versus the 100 phone calls for a day. So when you put that, am I on as far as the numbers, Mike? Yep. So when you put that into perspective for how many more people you can be speaking to, and how much stuff you could weed through, those wrong numbers and whatnot, getting out of the way, we've set you up for a hell of a day, guys. Then you take into consideration all of our appointment setters for those of you that are out in the field, or those of you that are on the phone that are getting appointments. You take that into consideration. The amount of people that they're going to be able to speak to a day in order to be able to get appointments is going to happen. Now, we're going to burn through leads a lot quicker by doing this, but it's going to be a very, very, very productive next 7.5 weeks. So I know a bunch of you have gone through some trainings already. I know that there's a lot of questions. Certain things like, I'm having a hard time with my specific login, for example. I've gotten that question a few times now. That's probably something that we have to take offline. But from a general perspective of where we're at with customer and 5-9, and by the way, customers to CRM, 5-9 is the dialer that works within the CRM software. Throw some questions out there and throw some feedback. How is it going? Mike, you know who's been using it and who's been dialing. So why don't you go ahead and call on some of those that are.
Sure. So Andrew, give us a little bit of feedback. How's it been going for you?
So so far, once you kind of get past the basic fear of hopping on, you hop on, and once you learn the small things you need to do to be able to see who you're talking to, it's easy. It's smooth. They're dialing for you. You're able to disco it, move on to the next one. So once I got that down, I think that's the main part. Same with you guys. I think you'll find once you get those little nuances and everything else flows, and you'll add stuff in as you go. So I found it to be easy once I got a hold of those like 2 or 3 simple steps that are crucial. once you get that, it's good to go.
Okay. And how long did that take you, Andrew?
I did have Junior help me like on some one-on-one, which did add a little bit of help to me. But after he showed me that, within the first 5 minutes, I knew what I was doing. But it was just two, 3 simple steps, so it's quick.
So you're not talking about days, you're talking about a day.
Yeah, he started
Yeah.
yesterday morning. He started yesterday morning, and he's already, competent in it. He's already booked sales. He's done the outbound script on the sales already, and he's just waiting on the inbound call. I know Jackie's been killing it out there as well. She's been, dialing away. We got Steven and Cecil and Aubrey. Aaron's been in there, I know. Who else? I'm just looking around. Christina has been in there. Christina gets a lot of callbacks. Whatever she's saying on that voicemail, she's getting people to call back, which is beautiful.
Not to interrupt, Mike, I had a quick question though.
Sure.
I noticed in diving into it and using it, there were some leads where there wasn't so much information available. It might have first and last name, and maybe you can see the state where they're from, but the address wouldn't be there. I thought I heard you say it would get updated as we keep moving on.
So guys, we basically have not updated the leads in the system yet. Our goal was to just try to get you going. There's September's Part Ds, if you will, that are in there right now. If you just, I guess we're probably prepared for tomorrow to upload.
Don't say that. Brian Shanner's on the phone.
Oh, you're right. No. Brian's our team member. Remember, he's a team member.
Load away.
Load away.
We'll get there. Probably within the next 24 hours, the leads will be there for you. But we have all the different sources, and they'll be there. We're pretty excited about it. Feedback is key. As you have issues, TJ, I'm relying on you, man, to give us some more details, because I know you've been messing around in there. I'm sure you have a lot of stuff that you can share with us. As you find problems, let us know, and we'll fix them. But we need you to just be as open as possible with those problems in order to find them. So I guess that's really it for the 5-9 conversation.
Okay. All right. Anybody have any questions or anything they want to address?
Only thing I got is a small personal thing. Is like on mine, the headset, the microphone is not working. I need Nikki to get back in touch with me about that.
Okay, yeah, we could talk that through. You don't need to use our headset too. I mean, any Bluetooth type or operation that'll connect to your computer will work perfectly fine. I know Gabby was like, I'm not using this piece of junk. I'm using my Beats. So she got her Beats on, and she could walk around. She doesn't have to stay connected to the computer. So you guys could use whatever you like. I know Chris felt the same way. I think Chris already replaced his. So, they weren't cheap headphones, I promise. They're but
no,
if you want to have
Rob
something
was
like,
having a similar issue where it just like wasn't finding his headset. I don't know if it's been solved since then, but.
All right, we'll work through it, guys. We'll get there. This definitely wasn't the intention of today's meeting. So if you do have issues, let us know, and we'll keep you in the loop.
Hey, Mike.
Yep.
Quick question. The information that's shown on the side of a customer lead, is there any way to get all that like in order so that you have it a little bit more organized instead of so convoluted?
Sure. Chris, have you been in today?
Yeah, I'm looking at it currently, but the zip code is like way at the bottom. And the address is up at the top.
Yeah, it's better, but it's not there yet. I don't. If you notice a change, we did make a change already. The phone number and stuff is coming closer to the top, but they still need to fix it more and manipulate it a little more. But if you notice the change between yesterday and today, it's already improved. So we'll start. We have a 4:30 call with them, and I'll work on it at that point. All right.
Okay.
So
Let's move on to this. So
thanks, Chris.
So this is a little bit more of a conversation that we have to have, guys. We told you all 6 weeks ago, when actually a little bit more than that, when we did a rollout as far as all the different states, and we wanted you to see where all the products were, and where's your excitement for states. And you guys have come back to us a bunch of times saying, where do I get a license? Where do I get a license? Where do I get a license? And we keep coming back to you and saying, don't go spend money on a license yet, because we don't know. We don't know where we're going to send you. And we understand that there's you guys have been very patient with us as we say, don't go get a license yet, and we don't know where you're going to work yet. And the answer is, as of 2:40 today, we still don't know where you're going to work. And I want to explain a little bit of what the process is and why we're answering the question this way.
That's not for everybody. I mean,
yeah, this is more for the people that have come back and actually asked the question, because there's a half a dozen of you that are saying, you know, which states am I going to work in? Here's the thing. We have this new system. We got an abundance of leads. These leads have gone through an entire scrubbing process, have now come back in. As of last night and this morning, they just started getting sorted into the way that they need to get sorted. But now we have this new dialer system. This new dialer system, we don't know if it's going to take 1,000 leads a day for one agent, or if it's going to take 1,000 leads for 10 agents. Part of that we have to kind of work through. It's a whole work in progress that we're doing. We're very nervous about saying to you, go get a license right now in these 4 states. And then we learn that we're burning through those leads so quickly that you went out and you got a license for absolutely no reason whatsoever in those states. Our thought process and how to handle this on today, October 13th, is you guys have licenses in multiple states. If there is a specific state, and Greg, I'll take for an example, you and I had a conversation about Pennsylvania, and you live 25 minutes away from Pennsylvania anyway, you should have a Pennsylvania license. But to go out and start getting 3 other licenses right now, when we're learning this whole process as we go on, it doesn't make sense. We're doing what we could do to try to avoid, number one, making promises of you working in a bunch of states that don't come to fruition. And at the same time, you just spent a bunch of money on licenses to go get those states. So we're trying to do it as efficiently as possible and as smart as possible. That's kind of where we stand on the license portion of it. And I understand it's a little frustrating saying, yeah, but I want all my licenses in right now. But here's the other part. You go and you get licenses in 4 states. And all of a sudden you go into the system as having a license in 4 states. And your first phone call goes to Nevada, and your next phone call goes to Pennsylvania, and your next phone call goes to Oregon. You're going to be sitting there going, holy crap, wait, what county, what product, what? So we got to kind of get you into these states on a little bit of a smarter method. We realize there's going to be a lot of one-on-one conversations. We realize there's been a lot of one-on-one conversations. We know a lot of you have been talking to Dan, a lot of you have been talking to Mike, some of you have spoken to me. We get that, but we're trying to give you an explanation to understand exactly what's happening. It's not any ball that's being dropped right now. It's a matter of us trying to put it all together. Mike, Dan, is that a good synopsis of where we're at right now?
I think so. I'd like to hear from some of the agents on that are curious and kind of eager to jump.
Yeah, throw it away. Yeah, throw it out there.
I mean, it's all the guys that reach out over the last couple of days. Greg, Seth, Joe, anybody else who it is.
So I'm assuming what you said, Anthony, that I should go ahead and just get to Pennsylvania.
You should have a Pennsylvania anyway.
Yeah, well,
you jog to Pennsylvania.
There's nothing happening over there, so I let it go.
Yeah. I mean, that's almost a no-brainer just because of where you live, period. But yeah.
All right.
And again, guys, we're doing the best that we could there as far as trying to figure it all out as we go. And I do think there's a lot of one-on-one conversations there, but throw it out there. If you guys have questions or thoughts or anything that you want to hit, throw it out there. That's why we're bringing it up.
How long after you pay for your license from a different state does it take to be into effect?
Okay. There is no answer to that question. It's a great question, but there is no answer to that question. You have some states that might possibly process it today, apply today, and they might process it today, and you have it by tomorrow.
New York, for example, which is the state next to me.
Okay. Sometimes it's quick. Sometimes it's not. We've had people in our office apply on the same day for the same state. One person get it today and another person to take a week later. Makes no sense whatsoever.
Even if you did get it today, there's a chance, even if it gets approved overnight, the Ascend platform may not update for a few days. So you may be on the phone with somebody tomorrow and you try to work on Ascend inside the platform and it didn't update for you. So you actually, even though you hold like a New York license, it may not be there for you to actually do work into it.
Right.
There's a couple-day turnaround on some of these platforms that we're working off of.
And there's been some times where it never actually updated, and we had to contact WellCare to say, hey, look, you know, this person's Illinois license is not allowed into Ascend, and then it took 24 hours for it to, you know, be updated there.
So question on that. My guys are working, you know, we're working 4 or 5 states right now.
Yep.
And Michigan takes forever, as we've all found out.
Yep.
So we're trying to set appointments. Is there any type of workaround where if it's not in there by the 15th, 16th, 17th, another way to take an app, or are we going to have to just push them off until?
Okay. Steve, for your people specifically, correct me if I'm wrong, but did we have a list last week?
Yeah, we have our states. Michigan just it took me 25 days to get Michigan. It only took Christie 5 days. Still waiting on Cecil and Aubrey. So, but they're calling Michigan and calling it pretty hard. So if they set up an appointment, do we need to just kind of say we'll follow up in 2 weeks versus the 15th, or is there another way to take an app?
This is what I'd like to do. If you have people who have the license already, and it's not showing up in Ascend at this point, I'd like you to put or update the list that you sent over to Jeanette.
Okay.
And do it again, because what we have learned is when we are going back to them, like that list, for example, that we worked last week, they were updated immediately, like the next day. So
yeah, no, we're actually waiting on the Michigan license to be approved at this point. Yeah,
Steve, you mean from the state of? You mean from the state of Michigan?
Correct.
Specifically.
Yeah.
So Andrew and Michael both had, and Greg too, both had long waits in the state of Michigan. I think with everything happening in the state right now, where everything got shut down for a little longer there, I think that has to do with the affecting of the licenses, because we've heard the same thing. Okay. The first thing that I would suggest is moving forward, anybody that's calling in the state that does not have a paper license, in 5.9, that needs to be turned off as a skill until the license is in your hand.
Okay. Perfect.
And then as far as anybody you've already spoken to, yeah, I think the perfect thing to do would be to call back, schedule callbacks in 10 days or so when the license is in your hand.
Okay. So just get with Michael on what's missing on that and move forward.
All right.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Thank you.
What about when it's not, I'm like I have Rhode Island and I've been accepted, but Ascend is saying that I'm not currently able to sell plans. So how should I go about fixing that?
Meaning it's not being accepted in the department or accepted at WellCare?
I'm on the Ascend app right now, and I'm typing in a Rhode Island zip code and clicking Get Started, and it's giving me a notification you're not currently able to sell plans in this zip code.
So the best thing to do there is to contact Ascend directly. What we've tried to do, Jeanette has called for some of the agents on the call now to get it added, and Ascend basically says, you're not TJ Hickey. We don't want to talk to you, Jeanette, so have TJ call us. So on the website there, you will see a phone number on the Ascend platform. Jeanette, if you wouldn't mind, can you just come off mute for a quick second? Is it the 866-822 right on the Ascend website?
No.
I have 866-338-7772.
Okay, so if you don't mind putting that in the chat there, Jeanette. But that's going to be, you're going to call Ascend directly and just tell them that you have a state that you didn't originally have when you first got contracted and appointed, and they will unlock that. Now, what WellCare will tell us direct, and I'm sure Brian's itching to suggest this, he's going to say that Ascend automatically pulls it from your licenses on a nightly basis, but there's been challenges with that. So we want to stay ahead of the curve there and make sure that we're calling the help desk and saying unlock that state.
I gotta ask one question, TJ, and this is, I know this is very basic, but I just want to confirm this. In the Ascend app, you selected 2021 plans, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Because there was no Rhode Island plan in 2020.
Lizandro, we hear you, buddy. Sounds like you got a party going on there, buddy.
Can I ask, so now that we're just starting with this new program and getting used to it, can we stay on the states where like here and get comfortable and then add states, like in a couple of weeks? Or is this something that you need to know now?
No, not at all. You're fine, Lisa.
Okay.
You're fine. The states you're working in, we'll keep you in those states.
Okay.
We don't want, look, we want to be around the whole country. We want everyone to work everywhere in the country. We want to hit all these areas that we have leads. In the same token, we don't want to go like this all at one shot and not even realize that, we're getting through those leads so quickly. We put too many people in one spot or not enough people in this spot here. We got to get some parameters and some on what's happening. So now, one other thing, and Mike, correct me if I'm wrong on this. If, for argument's sake, Seth's saying, look, I really want to work in the state of Arizona right now. At this point, we could look and say, Seth, if you really want to go work in the state of Arizona, we get the Arizona license and we'll get you going there. We're okay with that at this point, right?
If there's a person who wants to work in a certain state, you really want to, there's a difference between, hey, where should I get licensed and I really want to work in this state. Nobody's keeping you from working in that state if you really want to work in that state. Some of you, that's the way that we kind of communicated it. Others, you came to me and said, look, this is where I'd like, I don't know, whatever you want me to do. And those are the ones that we kind of held off on with states, frankly, because we're like, okay, if you're willing and there's not a priority to where you need to work, then let's figure out how to get through this right now and kind of get through these next couple days of total ambiguity.
Seth, I just want to hit you up because I know you're dealing with it for yourself and a lot of people. You good as far as what it is that we're saying? On the same page? I think you're on mute, Seth. We can't hear you. You're on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there you are.
Yeah, finally, sorry about that. Good in what way? What do you mean?
Questions as far as the way we're saying to approach.
Not really. I just want to know where I'm going to be, come 2 days from now at night.
Okay.
It's Arizona or Nevada, man. Like pick one.
Okay. Well, I get Wisconsin too.
Yeah.
So.
It's Arizona or Nevada. If you want to be 3 hours behind, that's where we got.
Okay. Cool. That's all I needed. And so I'll pick one of those. Who did I send that to? Jeanette?
Dominica.
Okay.
Yeah. And then just let me know. And I hate to say it that simply, but that's what it is.
No, that's cool. That way I just can plan the day. If I want to keep if I could be just in one spot at night, that's great. That way I don't have to make it more complicated than it is.
Yep.
And go from there.
All right.
Mike, quick question for you. Do we have, for this meeting, do we have a maximum of 60 participants allowed to log in?
No, we have 300 people that can log in.
Okay. I think like Shana just got kicked out and you can't get back in for some reason. Okay. We're not.
Matt,
quick question.
sorry. Is there a specific just highlight of benefits that can be provided just for the agent so we can look at all the plans, like kind of more organized in one spot?
Sure. What I want you to do is I want you to go to Centene firstlook.com.
Actually, the div.com has it all. The div.com/Centene you can get to the application, the website that Anthony's directing you to, as well as all of our own videos of all those different sites and how they break down. I just put it in the chat, but the Centene First Look that Anthony's referencing is actually on that site as well. So
Perfect, thank you.
And every state is there to look at it, all put together, if you will. Okay. All right, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on from the states then to the next thing, and let's have some conversations about logistics. One of the problems that we do have is that Shaner got kicked out, and this is his section, and he can't get back in. Well, let me actually, going into the product just now and talking about Centene First Look was a perfect timing for this. Do you guys have any specific product questions and understanding the product itself for WellCare? Everyone is good to go without any issues?
Brian is back on.
Yes, good. Yeah, done.
Okay, Brian's there. Perfect. So you have Mr. Shaner here now. So when we talk specifically about the products itself, and when I say the products, I don't mean, you know, in Charlotte, North Carolina, what is the copay for a specialist? I mean the understanding of you know, when we talk about some of these ancillary benefits, or we talk about it, anything like that, networks, anything like that.
I have a question.
Okay, Jackie.
Okay, so on yesterday, I was specifically looking for the explanation of benefits under WellCare.
Okay.
And it was, I think it was a plan in New Hampshire.
Right.
It was the PPO plan, because I was specifically asked about a couple of different things. One was a Prolia shot and the other one was an endoscopy.
Okay.
And I think the only way I could find that is by going to the evidence of coverage. However, it's showing, yeah,
right.
It's not available. Mhm.
Yeah, that's
Is that
come up
just
a few
because-
times. No, that's the case in every state. Brian, are you aware of that the evidence of coverages have not been posted yet for 2021?
Yeah, I imagine they will go live at midnight on the 15th.
Okay. Okay.
It just seems to be kind of the trigger for a lot of these things. Midnight, they will launch at that point. You'll be able to see them on Agent Connect.
Okay. Are there?
Is there a PDF that we can get now? Because I have someone I'm scheduled to call back on the 15th, and I do need to answer. I guess you know, I want to look that up and have that answer when I contact that person back. Is there like a PDF that we can get?
I think probably the easiest way to go about this without waiting till the 15th will be to go back through Diversified and contact Jay Ball, who would have that stuff. He probably has that PDF currently, but I don't know for sure.
Okay. All right. So, so Jackie, specifically to New Hampshire, Jay Ball is the district sales manager there, who would be a little bit in the weeds, if you will, of what's happening there. So,
Do you have a PDF of that PowerPoint? Because I did go back and look at the video. I didn't see, I think there was somebody named Patrick went over the plan, but I didn't see any contact information.
Yeah, I guess actually in New Hampshire would be Patrick, wouldn't it, Brian?
Yeah, of course I have it there.
Yeah, I got
Forget
you.
about him.
I got you. Brian used to be in charge of the state of New Hampshire, and Jay was the guy who worked for him that dealt with New Hampshire until this year. So, okay, that makes sense. So yes, we have to hook you up with Patrick to see if maybe, you know, again, that's specific to that state, but to see if maybe we can get that. That would be the answer.
Thank
there.
you.
And I wanted to ask in regards to like the card for groceries, or you know, where they can buy like healthy products. How does that benefit work? It's absolutely new to me.
Okay. So that one's new to all of us. That's a brand new spiel, if you will.
Yeah, I'm like, it is like, what's the network? Where can they buy the products? What are the limitations in products? How do you advise what to get?
Okay. So one of the things that I think, hey, Gabby, any chance you have, actually, nope, it's going to be on our website. So it would be the div.com/Centene. And we have in there well care product videos. And it's going to open up to a page that's going to have all of the details of all the supplemental resources. So for argument's sakes, for the grocery benefit, for example, Mike, can I take the screen for 1 second? Or can you just go to Centene, or the div.com/Centene?
Got it.
So with specific to this grocery benefit, as he's pulling that up, it's called SHIPT, SHIPT. It is, well, it's not, go back up, Mike. It's well care product videos towards the top, middle one. And then go down to the supplemental one pagers. And here it says for grocery delivery benefit. Yep, that one.
Guys, this page, okay, if you haven't been here before on this page and looked at what these benefits are and this summary of benefits, I have to tell you, it's probably, as soon as I saw that, I went crazy because it was probably one of the most beneficial tools that I've seen in such a short description and finally telling me exactly how each one of the benefits, whether it's the flex card or whether it's the groceries or the dental or the vision, and they're doing it in one page or in a minute and a half video. If you don't watch the first 15 seconds and the last 15 seconds, that they're all the same. But to go through each one of those products and take a half hour and look at each one of those, it's going to explain exactly how they work. So you're not just talking about benefits, you actually understand how they work and how great they are.
Right.
If you haven't done that, you want to do that.
Let's talk specifically about this grocery benefit, for example.
Hey, guy, I have a question. How do we get to that page again?
It is the div.com/Centene.
Okay.
Okay. And then you'll see on that page, you'll see it says well care product videos, which I think we should change the name to well care product info because it is more than videos. But and then you'll see everything there. So here are the states that this grocery benefit specifically are available in, okay? Basically, it's through a company called Shipt, and which normally it's a $99 membership fee. They came to an agreement with WellCare that the membership fee is waived, I guess because it's going to be in volume. And depending on the product in the area, people get between $50 to $75 per month of delivered groceries. Most of the time it's same day delivery. There's going to be an approved list that they pick from. And it is a use it or lose it. They can't go from spending nothing this month to spending $100 next month. It's use it or lose it. Obviously, not every plan has it. It's just specific to these 13 markets. Now, here is the key qualifying factor. They have to have a chronic condition such as diabetes, COPD, chronic lung disease, asthma, congestive heart failure, cancer, or coronary artery disease. Now, that's a lot of conditions. A lot of the people we're seeing have, diabetes is not an uncommon, or asthma is not an uncommon thing for our marketplace to see. But that's what the chronic, it's for specifically people with chronic conditions.
You get double the benefit if you have all of those?
Now, you do not. You got to have one or more. But does anybody, does that answer the question as far as?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Because, in some of the plans, you get like a Walmart card where you can go to Walmart. In this case, they can only call to make an order and be delivered.
Okay, so that's specific to, this is specifically for the grocery deliveries. But if you talk about the OTC benefit works a little differently.
No, that's what I mean on the other one like that's what I meant. Like if you could use the grocery, because the OTC does have like a bigger network and you can use like CVS.
Yes, which is all the CVS stores, with the exception of Connecticut, New Jersey, and New York. Those are not CVS stores. Those are something Incom, I think it's called, which haven't changed. Everything else for OTC is CVS. But for the grocery benefits, no, it is just specifically through this shift service.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
And I believe they actually log in.
How are you?
In order to do it.
You're looking cute. Welcome.
Dominique, can you put yourself on mute?
Hey, Anthony, I got a question.
Yes, sir.
So basically, I know I'm probably not the only Asian that comes across this, but when we're dealing with, like, for instance, Maine, but someone who lives close to the New Hampshire border or Tennessee, and they live close to the Kentucky border, I know MA plans don't go cross state lines unless it's a PPO. It may have that functionality, but how do we know, A, do they accept that plan? So they can go get service with that PPO. Like, what are the parameters? Who do we call to find this out? Because a lot of times I come across that, I just walk away from it because I don't know.
Wait, let me just make sure I understand your question. You're saying if you put someone in a PPO plan, but the doctor that's out of network is across the state line, will they be covered? Is that?
To my understanding, in the conversations that we've had, a PPO is a plan that can possibly go across state lines, not an HMO plan. I haven't done that before, but that's to my understanding. So my question is, how do we know if that PPO can go across state line and if they can go to the doctor in or out of network? Because it's a PPO plan. Will they take it?
Okay. Brian, I'm going to throw this over to, obviously we know the answer to that in network. Brian, let me throw this question over to you.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Yeah, number one, with a PPO, you can go across state lines and it'd be considered out of network. WellCare doesn't have a passport product. So it's simply an out of network copay. If there's a question on the back of the card, there's a provider hotline that provider out of network would call and figure out how they're going to get paid. All PPOs get paid at 100% of the Medicare allowable rate, which is oftentimes more money than an in-network provider would make. Therefore, with a large branded PPO, you should never walk away from a case that's going across state lines because they do have coverage.
Can an in-network, in a PPO, can an in-network provider be across state lines? Or is that still restricted to the service area for it to be in-network?
In certain situations, yes, but it's all on how they are contracted. So in the Northeast specifically, as we build out Rhode Island, Mass, New Hampshire, that cluster of states, they will be contracted where you could have if you're selling a beneficiary in Maine, they could see a provider in Mass as in network, but those are one-offs. But as a rule, that's the whole reason we created PPOs was for people that were snowbirds, for example. So they could go to another state and still be covered. And, the difference between a PPO and a fee for service, I don't want to get into that, but there's rules around PPO and what they must pay and what they must cover. So from a provider's risk standpoint, they have little to no risk. And generally, like I say, they're going to make more money as an out-of-network provider than they are as an in. So you don't have problems. In a Tennessee to Kentucky scenario, WellCare is one of the biggest providers in both of those states. It's not as if the doctor's going to say, "Who's that?" So yes, that's a safe sale.
How do we know if, let's take Jersey, for example, take South Jersey, where you have a lot of people in South Jersey that go over to Philadelphia to see doctors. How do we, if we're speaking to someone who's in South Jersey, there's a PPO plan in South Jersey, and we find out the doctor is in Philadelphia. When we look that doctor up, how do we know if the doctor's obviously going to be an in-network doctor because there's a Philadelphia plan? How do we know if that doctor would accept the New Jersey plan? Do you get what I'm asking?
That's where my confusion is as well.
Well, the only way around that one is to call the provider and ask them a specific question. Will you bill an out-of-network PPO? And if the answer is yes to that, then you're good.
Yeah,
but in that specific scenario right there, Anthony, there is no network in Philadelphia. That's an all-well network, and those two networks haven't been blended at this point.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it's anything.
But what if like you use the example of what did you say, Tennessee and Kentucky? Is that the example you just used?
Yeah.
So what about in that scenario though, Brian, if they are considered, you talked about calling them to see if they'll bill out of network, but can it be in network?
No, not unless it's filed, and not unless it's contracted that way. You're talking about two different H contracts. The H number for a Tennessee plan is a different H number than the Kentucky plan.
Gotcha.
So therefore, it's out of network until we put in a passport program.
Gotcha. Okay.
Which we do not have today.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, I have a question. Those doctors that are on the border of different states, it is possible that they can choose to become a member of both. So they might be in network anyway.
They could.
Especially, like with South Jersey and Philadelphia, it's quite possible that they're contracted with both.
What were you going to say, Brian?
Well, in the South Jersey scenario, WellCare doesn't have a product in Philadelphia or Pennsylvania at all. So more than likely they would not be contracted.
Right. Okay. Andrew, does that there's always going to be some gray area there, man.
Yes.
I get you.
So I'm just not trying to bring this all the way around back, but I think so. If we go across state lines, I mean, if someone goes across state lines with the PPO, they have to be an out-of-network provider, and then they'll accept the PPO. Is that right?
It would be an out-of-network. It would be an out-of-network benefit in that scenario, correct?
Okay. All right. Cool. I think I got it. Thank you.
You got it. Okay. Any other product questions before we move on?
Yeah.
I have a question. I'm sorry.
I've got a question about there are some dental benefits on a PPO in Maine that are saying 50% coinsurance. I'm assuming that's handled as a reimbursable benefit. You pay the whole thing and get reimbursed somehow?
Is that, so obviously I'm not familiar with 50 states of products. Is that the out-of-network benefit?
It's yes, exactly. It's an out-of-network dental benefit on the 550B PPO.
Yeah, so that would definitely be, you would pay it and then be reimbursed up to, somewhere in the EOC, it would list a number in there. And maybe it does right in the kit. I don't have one in front of me.
Yeah, it does say 50%. So
50% of what total though?
Yeah, well, for that service anyway. There are different services. There's a total benefit of 1,000, and different services are 50% co-insurance out of network.
So Brian, if there's a max benefit of $1,000, is it 50% of the $1,000 or is it 50% of $2,000?
So I have to speak in the past.
Okay.
Because I don't know how they designed the current plan.
Uh-huh.
But in the past, it was 50% up to the $1,000. So yes, you could get essentially $2,000 worth of work done, and they would pay 1,000 of it.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
Is there a specific place for them to get claims forms or whatever?
Yes, the local market will have those. J-Ball will have those.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
In New Hampshire, there's a PPO plan that shows a $1 to $49 premium. How do you know what they're paying? Are they going to pay $25? Are they paying $49? Is it $1?
What's the name of the plan?
It's on the WellCare Value HMO and also the WellCare Prime PPO.
I think you have to download the summary of benefits from the WellCare website, and then it will specifically tell you the premium. But I don't think you can't get it from the first look.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you at this point.
Yeah, my suggestion would be to go to the WellCare website, put in the Medicare and the zip code, and bring up that PPO plan. Download that specific plan, open it up, the summary of benefits, and it'll tell you the exact premium on there.
You good, Chris?
I think we looked. I think it still says $1 to $49 in the summary of benefits, but I'll look again just to double check.
Okay. If so, then we got to come back to that. We got to come back to that question and get a clear answer for you on that. It could have something to do with the level of LIS. Could be why it says 1 to 49. It's very possible that's why it's saying that. You know, if they're 100% LIS, it's $1, or you know what I mean. Let's round back to that question then. All right, I'm gonna move us along unless there's any other big.
Yeah, I have no idea how to get to this page that's on here. I've gone to the div. There's no WellCare product videos available. Yeah, I don't have that screen.
Hey, it's not showing up if you're using it on your phone. I had to do it on my laptop. But
I'm
if
on
you're
the
using
laptop.
Yeah.
The div.com. Here we go. One more time. The div.com. Oops.
When I go to the div.com, I don't have that Centene.
You have to type Centene in. It's not available unless you type in the div.com/Centene.
The div.com/team. Okay. Div.com/Centene.
Then you're going to be able to pick WellCare product videos right in the center. This is the site that's putting out there with all the product that everybody can go and watch the videos about the different information about each area.
Oh, that's rad, man. Yeah, that's cool. Art. I was going crazy. I kept looking for that screen. I'm like, how do I get there? But thank you. Yeah, we're good.
Okay, Mike, we go back to the presentation. So we can go to the
I have a question if you have a chance.
Sure, go ahead, Maria.
Okay, and I apologize. It's probably something already been answered. I'm kind of in a loud place here, but does an HMO POS work the same way as a PPO?
No.
From what perspective? No,
Well,
it does not. First of all, but from what perspective?
I have someone that I'm going to speak to in a couple days that does a lot of traveling throughout the United States, and she has a supplement, But there's no PPO in her area. And so she wants something where she can go to an out-of-network doctor.
Okay. I'm gonna throw this to Brian or Greg. Brian,
In comparison to a PPO, you're asking for trouble, Maria. Because, you know, like with a PPO, when you're, like we said, is when you're dealing with somebody that's out of network, that doctor still has to accept that, you know, on a PPO. On a point of service, it's so shaky because, like, how many times somebody goes in, even with a PPO card, and goes into a doctor's office, and at the desk, the person's being told, we don't accept that. You know, and it's like, well, wait a minute, it's a PPO. When you say you don't accept that, you're not even like considering the fact it's a PPO, and you're just like thinking HMO automatically off the top of your head. When it's an HMO point of service, it's going to get stickier, you know. I mean, that's what point of service is for, so that the person can go out of network and it be billed to WellCare, you know, whatever company you're talking about, it'd be billed to them and the doctor's going to get paid. It's their willingness to do it. You know, that's where it gets sticky. It's their willingness to do it.
I think another thing to consider here is with a PPO, there's no cap on your service. So if you go out of network with your PPO, you still have your max out of pocket. You could still have whatever service you want done. With a POS plan, it is exactly what it says it is. And that gives you limited coverage out of network. It's why you don't see those things around too often. And I personally have had one in my market in the past. And really all that drove for me was CTMs. So as soon as I could, I pulled that off the shelf and got rid of that and made sure we went down the PPO road. Maria, I wouldn't consider moving somebody out of a SUP for a POS plan on any occasion. You're just asking for a whole lot of headaches and a whole lot of trouble.
Okay, thank you.
You can't get any more straightforward than that, right?
Sorry.
No, that's what we need. That's what we need. And Maria, that's the guy from the insurance company saying it. So.
Well, to be honest with you, I wasn't really thrilled about the whole idea of moving a person like that. But I just wanted to ask, because there's been so much talk about, you know, that they're going to, the doctor networks were expanding and that they're paying the same amount, whether they're in or out of network, or the plan was. But yet I have looked up several doctors today and they're still not out of network. They're still not in network. So I just, you know, I kind of wanted to know what was up with that.
Okay.
Maria, where are you that there's no PPO?
Oh, this person, I think she's in, well, probably is either Tennessee. I think it was Tennessee. I'm trying to remember what the zip code is. I don't have any, you know, this is what I've been working a lot in. I was calling there a lot. So there was no PPO in her area, but there was an HMO POS, so the value.
Yeah. Did you happen to look at an ALWO offering?
I really haven't yet. I was going to. I was just a little bit. There was a lot going on with this new phone, and then trying to call people to set up appointments. I just haven't had I didn't do that yet. But I thought about it, and I just thought, well, I'm going to have to do some more research before I talk to her next week.
Just out of curiosity,
I think.
I was going to say, just out of curiosity, do you remember if this was the Nashville or Tennessee area? Guy, just remember to use the Centene First Look. Because it has the Orwell products with the WellCare products on the same page, so you don't even have to do a lot of digging on it, guys. Make sure you use this. Okay. You know what I mean? Okay. All right. I want to move us along here to the coach's corner, to the next slide, Mike. So Miss Moore, who everybody on the call should know already, who is our telesales guru, has kind of her own little channel now, if you will, called The Coach's Corner by Nicole Moore. You should absolutely positively, where was that? Like, go back up. So again, it's the div.com/telesales. Okay. And if you just scroll down to the bottom, you'll see there the Coach's Corner. And there's some videos here and some things. Use the resources we're giving you guys. They're there for a reason. We don't put the time, money, and effort into it if it wasn't worth it. So we've heard you guys say we like hearing Nicole on the training school. We wish we could get more in Nicole, but Nicole's only one person. So we got these little videos. They're not long. Use them. That's what they're there for. Nick, would you like to say anything about this? No? Okay. Okay. We're gonna move on to the slide that says ascend.
Anthony, is the Coach's Corner updated daily, weekly, never? What's
Good question. Nick, how often, or Dan, how often are these the Coach's Corner videos going up there? You're on mute, Dan.
I'm sorry.
There's Nick.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to leave you guys hanging. I was trying to unmute, but I have it muted on my phone and whatever. So yeah, Coach's Corner. It's just letting you know some, sales 101 tips that, you may have forgotten, or, it's a reminder, and people that are new to it, of course, it's going to be helpful to you guys as well. And just letting everyone know that, I am here for support, dial me up. I'm here to make this open enrollment as successful as possible. So I am here for support. I have, everyone's back, and, just don't be afraid to dial me up. That's what I'm here for.
Okay, great. Are you, how often are those videos going up there? Or is that library done at this point?
As of right now, I'm hoping to do more videos and add to it as we go along. However, right now we haven't updated it since, I believe, last week or the week before, since it's been up. It's pretty new, so, but yeah. I definitely hope to add more to it.
Awesome. Okay, thanks, Nick. All right, we want to go over to Ascend, and I think, Dan, is it you or Jeanette that's going to handle some of these questions on the Ascend side?
It's actually going to be both of us together. I'm going to start off with just some basic stuff, and then any of the real deep down stuff that she's dealing with, she's going to assist us. So I'm going to share my screen here. The Ascend platform that we're going to be discussing, though, is going to be just for the telesales people. There is a different platform for the field person. When I'm talking to this site here, your field person is going to have to basically go into the App Store on whatever platform you use. You could just Google it, look up Ascend, download it to your device, and be able to do an enrollment right on that platform. When it comes to this website, which I think you guys can see here, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Excellent. Great.
Yes.
This site here is going to be just for your telesales people. Just for anybody who's calling over the phone. As you guys know, you have to make sure that you have your name right here. Otherwise, it's giving credit to WellCare directly. One of the questions we get often asked is, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to sell. Everything's good, but you guys didn't give me a login. And what I'm going to encourage everybody to do is when you're on the div.com/telesales site, there's actually instructions for the entire platform right here. You download these instructions. It'll give you a PowerPoint presentation that tells you everything that you need to know when it comes to Ascend. Here's the full presentation. I'm just going to focus in on two little pieces right here. One's to do an application, and one's to get a bonus on every application that you write. First one here I'll show you is, here's the site. Obviously the link's right here. Just on it, looks right here. If you're a first-time user, you've never been on it before, The username is going to be your email address that you provided when you did contracting, or the email address that you get all of your WellCare communication from. You know, if you've contracted recently, it's going to be the same. In some cases, some people change their email. Wherever you get all of your WellCare marketing materials, anything like that, is going to be what your first email, your username is going to be. After that, your default password is WellCare123, capital W. As soon as you log in, it's going to prompt you to do update your password immediately. If by chance you've seen this page, but it's been some weeks, maybe end of September or August since you last wrote, because you're just kind of saying, you know what, I did 300 enrollments this year. I'm going to take a month of September off. Just go in and make sure you do forgot your password, and you're going to be all set to go forward. All right. Second slide that we need to know, after you get in, you do your whole presentation, everything's gone through, and if you need a little fresher on that, there is a video here for you to kind of watch it. You'll see a little Ascend video tutorial that Jeanette reviewed right on there, how to do everything. You could watch that tutorial. But at the end of the application, what really matters, what a lot of people have been asking about, is what's called the VBE, the value-based enrollment. You guys probably know it better as an HRA, health risk assessment. Okay, the key here is this is just what all wells look like, and not many of you will be working in all well states. A high majority of you will work in WellCare states. This very well, even though we see what it looks like for all well today, this very well may change in the next 48 hours. As you guys may know, if you guys have been with us in the field and sold on the WellCare platform in the past, last year we had everything up running on October 14th, and then on the evening of the 14th and 15th, WellCare sent an update out on their platform. Everything got swiped out in our applications. We had to do things all over again, and it had a little bit of a different look. I'm kind of expecting, this is just personal opinion experience, I'm kind of expecting the same thing to happen. So I want to see what happens on Thursday with this page, but I'm assuming for you to do a value-based enrollment, the HRA form where you get the bonus, it's going to look similar to this, where after you do everything, you give the confirmation number. We're done with our call, Mrs. Smith. We have one more thing just to get your plan off on the right foot. We're going to connect directly with WellCare, and we're going to do a health risk assessment form. They're going to ask you some of the same questions that you and I have already talked about, but it's going to make sure that all your healthcare is designed to get off on the right foot. And then you literally just click Connect Me Now. You connect to a caller right on the line. They'll give you a phone number. You dial in on your 5-9 website, and you do the health risk assessment right by the line.
Can I, hey, Brian, do you know the answer to what Dan is saying as far as on the 15th, will that VBE now include, you know, look the same with the WellCare included in it?
It should. Now, as you know, I find out a lot of things from you guys, so hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully it's just added in there and it holds the same format and everything else.
Okay, got it. Sorry, Dan, again.
No worries. The third thing I want to do here is kind of just talk about doctor lookup. A lot of you guys have been using wellcare.com, and that's great. I think you guys should continue to do that. Some people on this line may connect to the third-party line to go ahead and look up doctors with the WellCare call center. The third option is going to be right on the Ascend platform. So, Jeanette, I'm going to ask you to unlock yourself if you don't mind. Share your screen. And then possibly even do a doctor lookup right on the screen for the client. I mean, for any agent that needs to see what it would look like. It's going to give you all the information you need to continue through, but that's the third one I have on the Ascend platform.
Okay. So when you are looking up the doctors, it does ask for the NPI number, and you're able to get that through the provider lookup. When you're looking up the doctor, it's going to ask for the doctor's name, the zip code the doctor is in, and you can change the radius of the miles. There is also an option to do an advanced search for the doctor. If you do the advanced search, it would look like this. You write in the doctor's name, gender, specialty. Then you have to make sure that you put in the plan that you are looking for to see which plan they accept. You need to put that plan in there to make sure they accept that plan. Then location, state, and you would search it. And it will bring up a list of doctors for you. Once you find the doctor that you are looking for, you have to make sure you click add and then save and close. On this side here.
One thing I just want
oh, go ahead.
One thing I want to touch on is we've given you 3 different places to look up doctors. What we have found historically, where wellcare.com may not have it, the hotline may or may not, in a lot of cases, will. And what we found last week from one of the agents on the call here, the Ascend app is even better than both of those sources. So just because you don't find it in one doesn't mean it may not be in the second or the third.
Can you go over how we looked up on the NPI number again, Jeanette? I kind of missed that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, something. As far as I noticed earlier on one of the presentations that you can add a call. Could we call the doctor's office through that to verify if the group accepts it or not during the call?
Yes, if when we come back to 5.9, if that's okay, we'll show you how to 5.9 training, how to add the call in and work on it. But if that's okay, I'm just going to slide this aside just so we get the actual doctor's information handled all at once. If that's okay. That's more of a 5.9 question when it comes to the telephone server.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lisa, if you look,
so go ahead, Jeanette, if you don't mind handling the NPI part for Lisa.
yeah. So if you look up the doctor by the name, if you look and find the doctor you're looking for, the NPI number is right there listed.
But did you show us first quickly on that we could put the NPI number in so we don't have to call, or did I misunderstand that?
No, I mean, you're able to put the NPI number in, but you'll have to fill in the first and last name of the doctor as well. If you do the provider lookup, it'll do it for you and it'll look like this. If you add it, it automatically puts in the NPI number for you.
Okay, that's after we find it. Okay.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Now, coming back full circle, just to kind of wrap up where Rob had began us, if that's okay. Mr. Shaner, which states will you be sending us of Excel spreadsheets for doctors?
I'm going to be sending them all to Ascend.
All right, right to Ascend. So that'll be the easiest way. So it sounds like, Rob, to answer your question earlier, this is going to be the best platform to pull any doctors.
Yeah, what I'd say to that is we're making significant investment in the provider lookup tool and getting it launched on the Ascend platform. It really, this is supposed to be kind of one stop for everybody. You know, you can go in here, you can find your docs, check your meds, and do the enrollment, and really clean things up. You know, in the past, not to digress, but in the past, a lot of our enrollment challenges were from handwriting. So by using this app, we kind of get through that. We are told that there is going to be an update for the Find a Provider segment to this that will drop either tonight or tomorrow, which should enhance it further. And listen, if we get to a point where you guys aren't finding doctors and you know, we are confirming they are in network, at that point, I will go looking for an Excel, but you know, we got to go down this road first.
I think that's a great compromise there, Brian, based on what we're hearing from the other, and I'm glad Rob asked that question. I'm glad that it was put in that ballpark, you know, in that handled that way, because what we're hearing from other agents that the Ascend platform doctor lookup is the best resource right now. Of those 3 options, it's the best one. So Good. So, unless there's any questions about the doctor lookup, I think that's going to be it. And I think I could pass it back.
Hello? Are you saying that we should, I normally, when I'm talking to the person in the very beginning, don't you usually get the medication to make sure that all the medication's in the formulary, and then also you find out the primary doctor's NPI number at that time? So are you saying that we should just do all of that research only on the Send platform?
Well, if you're starting with the Send, whether it be your doctor or your drugs, you're starting on a Send, you don't really have to go any further. Like you said, it'd be your one stop. However, there's backups to both of those plans. The backup for the drugs, I'm actually going to share the app that I always recommend using. It's both going to be one link that I'm going to put in the chat is going to be your Android users. The second link I'm going to put in your chat is going to be for your iPhone users. When it comes to the doctor, again, being your one-step shop, start with a Send. If it's not in a Send, there's other ways we can look for it. One would be on the WellCare website, and the second would be using the provider line that WellCare, gave us to kind of call up and say, hey, is this doctor in the network? We can't find it on the website.
Okay.
And then if it's really not there and you call the doctor and they swear they're in the WellCare network, then we just call Brian and literally call him endlessly until he answers and figure out why.
Okay, thank you.
Dan, two questions. At the beginning, you said your name should be on this page for Send.
Yes, so let's go back a second. Jeanette, I'm going to take the screen back. So the one thing that we encourage everybody to use, hang on one second. Just want to refocus. Sorry, just bear with me. So when you're on this page here, one thing we want to make sure everybody does is when you log in, make sure your username is on the upper left corner right here. And I know from experience there have been agents who, when they've logged in, it has logged themselves out automatically and put in applications without the name there. Now, this site is just like, think of it in terms of your bank account, your mortgage website, your credit card company, anything that has secure information that if you let it sit there for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, it's going to time you out and kick you out, and that private information is no longer accessible until you re-log in. This website is just like that. So if I was to leave this opening in front of us for 15 minutes, there'll be a big reminder button in the middle of the page. Before you continue, you must tell us you want to stay logged in or re-log in because you've been automatically signed out. If it doesn't have your name here, you've been automatically kicked out, and all you're doing is giving WellCare credit directly, and you are removed from the commission. Which I know that's kind of a scary idea, but it has happened, and it's being worked on to figure it out, and there is no promises.
So all those links next to your name, I don't seem to have those.
And you're logged in right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't we wait? You see your name there?
No.
Okay, that's part of the challenge. And we want to get you to go to the website.
I'm on the website and it's asking for a zip code, but it doesn't know. I guess it doesn't know who I am.
Yeah, that's what I'm. So the first thing you're going to do there, if that's the case, on the right side, you're going to log yourself in. Your first time user we'll go through is going to be your email for WellCare, and then your password is WellCare123.
So I've created a link that comes to this page that's just, explore plans, and I don't see a way to log out or log in. So
okay, Jeanette, would you mind giving Rob Loud a call offline just to kind of walk through this challenge?
Thanks.
Sure.
Hey, Dan, this is Seth. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
So what I found out too is on Microsoft Edge on my computer, when I use that link, it doesn't, it only works on Chrome. Yeah. So that might be the reason. That's what I found out. I meant to tell you that.
Yeah, I'm on Chrome.
Appreciate that. That's actually the first time that I think I've heard that. I'm looking in the instructions from the PowerPoint and it may be in there. Just make sure you're using Chrome then. And I would recommend that to anybody anyway. So I think that's the first time I've heard it that way. But in any case, I focus on using Chrome anyway.
Okay, guys, I'm going to try to move
Any
us
other
along.
questions about
Yeah.
any other questions about Ascend and the platform for Dr. Look or anything like that?
Sounds good, Bill. I'll talk to you then. Thanks for the call back, by the way.
All right. So Seth, we know Bill's good. Anthony, back to you, bud.
Okay. We're gonna kind of go over now to Mike Senior. We're gonna kind of do some closing words, and then those of you that are on the teledigital side are gonna ask you to stay on the phone before we end it. So, Mike, to kind of give us a little bit of a wrap up here, where should everyone's head be on taking the dive right now? You're on mute.
Yeah. You're on mute.
You're on mute.
He's looking for his music.
Well, if you couldn't read my body language, I was getting excited. I was getting enthusiastic. I was getting overwhelmed and getting ready to dive in because it's time, guys. It's there's been a lot of prep work going on for months and months and months. We're certainly expecting to still have some surprises, but the preparation that's been taken care of by your team, by the Diversified family, has been just absolutely overwhelming. We're excited. We're ready. I hope all of you are as excited as we are. Anybody excited? Let me hear you. Let me hear it. Everybody out there's not sleeping right now. Anybody out there excited?
We hear you excited.
All right, that's more like it. That's more like it. It's more like it. Let me ask you a different question though. Why? Why are you excited? Who wants to tell me why they're excited?
I think I'm excited and nervous. Nervous because it's very, very unique open enrollment. And I've worked a lot in the field with a lot of low income population. So I find it very challenging for them to adapt with technology. I actually had a program that was going to start in April to teach seniors technology because, you know, there's such a big need for it. But I'm also excited because I think that it's just the right amount. I mean, they can answer a call, they can dial a number of technology to them that it'll be very functional, which is why I jumped into it, because I felt that because of COVID, we're not going to have the same ability to be face-to-face as much as we would want to. It's not healthy. It's a bit dangerous for you know, our population. But the lack of knowledge in technology was making it very challenging and scary. So I think this is just the right opportunity and where we can capitalize on what, you know, our current environment is and see how we can make the best out of it. I think that there's a huge potential in it.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody else want to share? Take another one on why. Why are you excited at this point?
Start something new, make a bunch of money.
All right, that's one of the things on my list. Okay, hopefully, because one of the things here, I don't know if you all realize it, but these seniors in the last 2 months, every one of them have gotten a book that's about 2.5 inches thick, telling them all their options, all the things that are going on. And man, they're confused. They need help. Our seniors are absolutely positively need help. The confusion that's taking place out there right now okay, that we have the information that we are the experts for, we need to be making that our number one reason. Yes, it's certainly about going out there and make a ton of money, but when you do the right thing, the bottom line is you're going to make a lot of money. If you help enough other people get what they want, you're going to get everything that you could possibly want. And these seniors need you right now. That's why so many people are responding when we send these mailers out. So many people, as soon as they get it, they're calling, and the telephone numbers are seeing. They're inundated with the information that's coming from the television and Joe Namath and all the things that are happening there. But you've got the tools, guys. You've got everything you need to be able to go out there and get them. And that's a reason to get excited. The timing is right. The timing is now. Now's the time to be diving in. Okay? Don't let anything get in your way. You need more help. You need to sharpen your tools. We're here to help you with that. Whatever you need, we've got the people that can help you and walk you through. But you've got to reach out to make that happen. You've got to reach out and make it happen. Yes, it's about going out there and making a ton of money right now, but it's about going out there and helping, because the opportunity is there to help all the seniors that are out there. So step up, do the right thing for them, and you're going to find that you're going to end up making a lot of money. And with that, step up, do what you need to do. We're here for you. Dive in. Let us help you get through. Just take that first step in order to do it, to make it happen. And let's have a phenomenal and absolutely unbelievable open enrollment period. Let's do it together, team. Come on, let's make it happen.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Guys, we're excited. We know we're gonna make this happen. We know that we're gonna break some serious records over the next 7.5 weeks. We're looking forward to doing it with all of you and making everybody a lot of money and having you positively impact as many lives as you possibly can. So let's go out there and kick some ass. Let's do it. With that said, if you are not in telesales, have a great evening. Those of you that aren't on TeleDigital, I am going to try to run as quickly as I possibly can through the new script. So stay on, and I am going to share my screen with you. Everybody else, take care.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, Anthony, real quick, this is TJ. I've got to run. I got a meeting here at 4 p.m. Is this going to be made available on the website?
Yes, it actually is out there already.
It's already there.
It's thediv.com/telesales.
Got it. All right. Thanks, man. See you.
We'll also have this whole recording up there for you. Gabby will pop it up there so that you guys can have access to the whole AEP rollout, so you can forward through.
Okay.
This is about an hour and about 2 hours in. So 2 hours in, you'll be able to find the recording of the new script.
Can I just ask you what's up on my screen right now? Is it the script?
Yeah, the PDF of the script.
Okay. All right. So guys, it's again, same thing. Diversified companies or the div.com/telesales. If you go down, the outbound script and inbound script has been changed at this point to reflect the new one. Here is the outbound script. There's not much that changed, to be honest with you. You'll see here they've made it a little bit, like if PDP member, there's this way. If BRC, it's this way. So they've made it so you could kind of flow down a little bit with it. You'll see the ESRD question has come out. All of these questions are all basically the same. Not much has changed. There might be a couple of words in here that have, but again, this is the outbound script anyway. So, you're kind of, you're kind of doing what you have to do here. One thing you'll see on the SPOP side, if you were calling SPOP, is there's 2 phone numbers here. I'm sorry, 3. There's WellCare, there's AllWell, and there's HealthNet. Those are different SPOP phone numbers that you would call into if you were using those plans. everywhere where it says plan name, it used to say like WellCare / Anaheim. Actually, I think Dan even changed it, so it only said WellCare. Now you will plug in which plan you're using. If you're using the WellCare plan versus if you're using the, All Well plan or Health Net plan or whatever it might be, you will just plug in plan name there. Other than that, on the outbound script, there's really not many changes. Definitely read through it. Definitely print this out and start to use this one and move your notes through. But that's the outbound script. Okay, let's go over to the inbound script. The inbound script has changed from a perspective of it's a little bit easier to read through. Okay, now one of the things that we did is, because this is the CMS approved script, in the previous scripts we had that statement, that bridge statement in between when they call in, when they call you back before we actually get into the official inbound. We took that out and made it its own document. It's again on here called bridge statement. So you'll see it says, Mrs. Jones, before I begin the enrollment, let me explain how the enrollment process goes. That hasn't stopped, but we did not put it in the actual inbound script itself. We made it its own category. Everybody with me on that? Again, it hasn't changed at all, but it's just, from the way you print it out. Let's go to the actual inbound script. So what they've done is they've done it so that if you're getting a yes or a no question, it's columns, instead of you jumping and saying, wait, am I supposed to skip this paragraph or aren't I supposed to skip this paragraph? So there's pluses and minuses. All in all, I think it's a little bit better than the old script was, to be honest. So we know that because you've done this bridge statement, and it's something that you've already talked to, we basically say, we're going to start the recording and go into, hello, my name is Anthony Rose with Diversified Health. I'm a licensed agent in the state of Pennsylvania and being appointed by, you plug in whether it's WellCare or whether it's All Well or whatever. Get the permission to contact. You then go into, we can only have one sales agent present. Is there another with you right now? And again, now it has it as, yes this way, no this way. Again, a little bit easier on the eyes. If no, you continue. Again, you ask them, do you understand you're requesting enrollment into, you say the plan, what type of plan it is, whether it's a POS, so on and so forth. Yes, I understand that I'm continuing. Are you completing it for yourself? If yes, skip the demographic application. If no, then you do the POA stuff. Again, all of this is the same, guys. There's no difference. It's just different the way it's laid out there. There is no ESRD question on here. The election period. If outside of AEP, has SEP been determined? If yes, continue to late enrollment penalty section. So, I'm sorry. If we're in, this is actually, I don't like this. This says if outside of AEP, has SEP been determined? We're not outside of AEP, so the answer would be yes. And you're just going to go all the way down to here, other coverage. And that's where your low-income subsidy questions are going to come in. If yes, if no, if yes, if no. Again, it makes it better than it used to be if yes here, if no here. It makes it a little bit easier doing the columns now. You have your statement of understandings. Now, here's where, again, it maps it, but this is what you're going to do. You will go through it. If it's a PFFS, you're going to say this. If it's a PDP, you're going to say yes. You're going to go down here. If it's none of them, then you're going to go down to, I need to review several statements with you and do MAPD. Or if it was just a PDP, then you would do just a PDP right here. In this section right here, if MA or MAPD, You are going to say, if it's a well care plan, this statement. If it's an all well or health net plan, this statement. If it's a DSNP, regardless of the plan, then you do this statement. For all of them, you're going to do this statement. Is everybody with me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. For all plans, you're going to do this. If it was an MA plan only, you would do this. Continue for all plan types here is this. Going all the way down. Here it breaks it down to you to do this side, unless it was a private fee for service, which we're not going to do. So all the others are going to fall into this category and in this column. All right. If you were doing just a PDP plan, then it would be this. Does it have a monthly premium? If yes, follow here. If no, follow here. All of these are the same required disclaimers. There may be a word or two that changed in there from how it was last year, but either way, you're going to be reading off of this, so it won't matter. If it's an EFT, if it's Social Security, if it's a coupon book versus a bill option. Here's all your disclosures. Here's your confirmation. Do you agree? Obviously, they have to say they agreed. And that is the end of it. So the layout is a little different. There's a few words different. The ESRD is removed. You have to take into consideration which plan you're enrolling them for. You'll see on the top of this, this says Centene teledigital enrollment because it's for all plans, not just for WellCare. But other than that, guys, this should not be causing mass confusion. The first time you do it, you know, it's going to be a little different. The second time, it's going to be a little different. The third time, it should be fine. The 22 minutes we always talk about, you can't anticipate the first time you do it, it's going to be 22 minutes. It's going to take you an extra minute or so. It doesn't mean to skip anything. It's just something you got to get a little used to. But there's nothing groundbreaking here. And that's what I got on this scripting. What type of questions you got for me?
Hi, this is Dominique. I have a question.
Sure.
So for the inbound calls, if we, let's say, end up in a conversation with somebody like around town or, you know, who knows you're an agent and they request an appointment with you, can we give them the inbound phone number and have them to call us?
The only time, if your phone call was on an inbound call, you don't have to have them hang up and call you back. You can continue.
No, I mean, let me rephrase it. My question is, if I'm physically face-to-face with someone who's asking for help with their Medicare plan, wanting to make changes or whatever.
Right.
May I refer them to the inbound phone line?
Without you taking the actual call? With somebody else?
Well, I guess that would be my question is, how do I get them to call me on the inbound call line or no?
Yeah, you need to get them to call you on the inbound call line. You want to be the agent.
Yeah, I want to be the agent. So how do I do that?
Anthony, I guess the question is, would we need to call them real quick to generate a number to have them call us right back on?
No, anybody can call you at any time. Oh, you're saying so that it goes to you? In that case, use your extension.
All right. Yeah, we don't have extensions yet for our team.
Okay.
So.
Mike, how would you recommend that based on the phone system itself? Of I'm giving my business card to someone to call me for argument's sakes.
So the extensions are there. It's just a matter of the DID setting that up so that you can see them a lot easier. They're there. You guys each have a 3-digit extension. I will work on it. I have a 4:30 call with them, and I'll get an exact answer as to what to do. I believe, though, by 6:30 this afternoon, you can hit the 800-662-2901 and then the 3-digit extension that you are within 5.9, and it'll go directly to you. And like I said, you can test that after 6:30 this afternoon.
Can you say that 800 number a little slower?
Sure. It's 800-662-2901. It's in there. And then it would be the extension either starting with an 8XX if you're already on a phone system then it already has it, or extension 9XX would be where it goes to. Most of you guys know your extensions already, so you know the what you have the other Yealing phones. So hopefully this evening it will all be the same.
A question.
Yes, sir.
This is Denny. So I made a call to an outbound call to one of my previous customers, And it came up as a New Jersey, the main office for New Jersey when I did the outbound. I tried calling myself on my cell phone. So just to see what it would do, if it would give me a main number, and it didn't do that. Is it going to do that if you're going forward, or?
Were they both 207 numbers?
Yeah. Yep.
I have no idea why that happened.
So it's not from a lead. I just said I'm going to call from my phone, my login.
Okay. So that's why. If you're in the 5.9, we could kind of talk on this offline because it's not
okay.
But just to give everybody a heads up, when you're in 5.9, and you up right now, if you just make a dial out, it's not going to do the local dial because it's not been told to. If you just dial the number, but when you're in a campaign, that's when it's doing it. You can force that. You can force that circumstance by clicking. It's going to be too much time for me to get the share screen. But if you click on, I think it's campaign, and choose an outbound campaign or one of the options that come up, I think that's where it forces it so that it knows to call a local number or put a local DID.
I got it. Yeah, right. Thanks.
How you feeling?
Good.
Good.
I haven't got my results yet, but I'm feeling fine.
Good. Good news.
When will the rest of us get extensions, or?
They're there, but I can tell you what yours is. Hold on. Yours is, if you want to just call me out in the chat, I'll give you exactly what they are. But also 5.9 should be able to, if you search it in there, it says it. So within the 5.9 option, I'm sorry guys, give me a second. Steven, yours is 954. But I believe if you put Steven in the @Steven option, it should come up, and anybody should be able to see that it's you. So like, you know, when you do that instant message thing, or new call, in the new call part, if you put Steven, you'll see that's who it is, and that's how you'd call it. So that was me calling you just now.
I see that.
So that's how it would work. But if anybody else wants to just chime in real fast and ask me what your extension is, just so that it doesn't have to hang over your head, I can.
If we were on the Monmouth system, is it going to be the same?
It's going to be the same. Yep, same as on the new one, same as Monmouth.
I got my guys, Mike.
So I got into the 5.9 thing yesterday and messed around a little bit, but the tour didn't really take me anywhere.
Well, I've been doing trainings. Well, Charlie, the deal is we kind of, if you had if you already had a login with your phone, I kind of placed you at the bottom just because I was like, okay, I'll get to you. I don't want anybody to miss out because you had a form. We are having a training school tomorrow at 9 a.m. and then 5 p.m. again tomorrow. I would ask you to hop on that and we'll get you all the help that you need.
Okay. Thank you.
George, I'll get you yours. I think we have to log you in. I think there's still some options where you have to get your ready to sell email, I believe, but we'll check. We'll look into it, and if you get in touch with Gabby, that'll be good.
So this is Donna. I had another question relating to Dominique's question earlier. I've got some people locally. I've got a lot of friends that are in the 65 plus range that are wanting to talk to me about Medicare for clarification and for possible changing. And what's the best way to do that? Can I just talk to them and then, I mean, I don't know.
Okay, so here's what you want. You want a presentation, even if it is a friend. You want a presentation recorded. It saves your butt for whatever reason. Okay. If you were to just have them call you, or you call them through the phone system, it's automatically going to record them. Just remember, if you call them, you got to have them call you back for the inbound call for the actual enrollment itself.
Right.
There's
Okay.
no reason not to just have a phone conversation with them. through a
Okay.
phone.
See, it's as simple as just making an outbound call to them.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you.
Just know that going through that phone system saves your butt.
Yeah. Got it. Thank you.
Hey, but Anthony, because if you're talking about somebody that was in person, of course, on the outbound call, you're getting your scope electronically. What about having something recorded in terms of where did that permission to contact come from? Because it's not a PDP lead, so it's it's like calling somebody cold.
So you're talking about why did you get permission to contact that person?
Exactly. It's almost like it could be assumed to be a cold call.
Yeah.
It's he said, she said that I know this person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Greg, I guess certain parts of it are actually in the conversation. I mean, if it's
you would want to be sure to bring that up.
Hey, Joe. Yeah.
Hey, yeah. We talked at the shop the other day
when
you approached me. So I'm calling you back. Just make sure you're making that statement in your recording.
Something along those lines, so that if it did ever come back, which the chances of those coming back are going to be a lot less.
Yeah.
But say something along the lines of, to insinuate to imply that you know this person and that this is a friend of yours, not that it's a referral that was given to you from somebody else. That's important. I can't give your name and number to Bill for Bill to call you. Okay. I have to, either you have to call Bill or Bill has to be calling you back. Does that make sense, Donna?
Why can't you just send the SOA?
You certainly could, but again, if this is someone that's a friend of yours, right, and you're just calling a friend,
I'd still send an SOA. I send an SOA by email.
Wouldn't it work if you just had someone say like something that made legal sense, like on an actual recorded line? Hey, I got your permission because this one day, and if they said yes.
Yeah, I mean that's the other thing, and actually, Don, that's a great point, because Donnie, you're not going to be calling somebody. That's a great point, Don. You're not going to be calling somebody that, hey, I want to see what's going on with your Medicare. You said it's people that already said they might want some help on their Medicare, right?
Yes.
Okay, so your phone call to them is flat out, hey Joe, I'm giving you a call back because the other day when I spoke to you, you asked me to talk to you about Don. Boom, that's your permission to contact right there. You're getting back to them. You're fine there.
Okay.
You're absolutely fine there.
Yeah, I have about 3 people that have said, oh, you do Medicare, I need to talk to you.
Hey, I'm just giving you a call back like you asked me to. Done. You're good to go.
Okay, thank you.
All right, guys. Any other questions? I know we went a little bit over, but any other questions or anything that you want to hit on this? Everyone's good on the script. They saw where they could download it. Okay. We are, I know some of you are about done with being on the phone today, but we are going to have our 6:30 conference call this evening. I don't know if it's going to go the full hour or not. We'll see what happens, but we are going to have that for anybody who wants to talk about the sales techniques perspective of things. We'll probably stay a little bit away from product for tonight, and go from there. And that's what we got for today. So with that said, everybody have a great day, and we look forward to speaking to everybody soon.
You too. Thank you.
Have a wonderful afternoon, guys. Hope to see you tonight.
Thanks a lot, guys. Great job.
Talk to you all later. Thanks. Bye-bye now.
John.